Hi, thanks everyone. So it's a little bit bittersweet being here at the last consortium meeting, and I want to take some time at the end to acknowledge people and to acknowledge all of you. But I'm Andrea Grotman. I think most of you know me. I'm one of the co-PIs of the Urea Cycle Consortium, or the UCDC. So the field of UCDCs has really changed in the past 2 decades. So just for some historical reference, the urea cycle was discovered, if you will, in 1932 by Hans Krebs. And you can see there was very little that was known or published until really the 1970s, but really accelerated with the development of the UCDC. And so we, like Tom, were one of the first consortia. We had our first site open in 2003, and we've been going strong ever since then. And it really was the brainchild of Mark Batshaw who put this consortium together. And, unlike Chet, where you had to pull in people, he had a core set of colleagues and they already were working together. So it was really a seamless transition to build this consortium. And many of those original 7 investigators were mentors for the rest of us and really helped establish this as a solid consortium, all working with the patient advocacy from day one. Next slide. And so with the UCDC, I want to talk about some of the clinical studies that we've been able to accomplish in the past decades. So we've had a total of 77 studies that were part of the UCDC. As you can see, 41 of them have been completed. We have 14 that are ongoing, and then some that were withdrawn for various reasons. And about 51 are treatment related, whereas the additional 26 are observational studies. So this includes the longitudinal study as well as data mining studies from the longitudinal study data, as well as studies that were initiated by our European colleagues. So we have a total of 16 sites, of which 3 are European colleagues. And so they have really pushed the field forward on their own by initiating their own studies as well. Next slide. And so how did we contribute to the field? So definitely improve the understanding of the UCD. So our 19 studies collectively enrolled 1,630 participants. We definitely learned about the various phenotypes of our disorders. Sue had put up a slide that had a very small picture of the urea cycle. We have 8 disorders that collectively fall under the urea cycle disorder. And actually, during the time that we had the consortium, a new disorder, NAGS, was discovered that wasn't part of the initial urea cycle disorder. In fact, is the only treatable condition, if you will, of the urea cycle disorders. It's totally treatable with a medication. We also implemented the first randomized clinical trial in urea cycle disorders. So the first drug that was approved for urea cycle disorders, a nitrogen scavenger by salbrusolol, actually didn't undergo a randomized clinical trial for its approval. And in fact, the probably wouldn't have been approved if it weren't for the NUCDF and funding that they were able to raise to get the study going and continue. We've had 191 publications that document not only the natural history, pregnancy outcomes, neurocognitive outcomes, biomarkers for both brain with imaging and liver using various technologies, including imaging, and they've been cited over 7,500 times. And I think importantly, our collaboration with the European Network for Intoxication Disorders has really solidified our understanding of urea cycle across continents. We've identified new approaches to diagnosis and treatment, including 16 pilot projects, industry-sponsored trials, which Sue spoke about, as well as other NIH-funded clinical trials. And we've advanced clinical trials and we're able to bring new therapies during the past 20 years to patients with urea cycle disorders. So glycerol phenylbutyrate and carbamyl glutamate for NAGS, and pegyl arginase, sort of. It's approved in the EU. It's beyond discussion as to what happened with the US trial, but anyway, we're pretty confident it will be approved in the US. Biomarker discovery with plasma ammonia, now accepted as an endpoint for the FDA. And I think also importantly is to focus on the training of the next generation of UCD investigators. We've had 27 trainees, including myself and Sandesh Nagamani, who serve as co-PIs. We have 21 in academia, 6 in industry playing lead roles, and the cumulative publication by our trainees is about 1,300. We've had enduring and meaningful collaborations with our patient advocacy group and our patients. We continue to sponsor international conferences on the Urea Cycle disorders, in which our patient advocates play an important role and present during those conferences. And these actually are aligned with international metabolism conferences. We have enduring materials. We started a tele-echo series, which is basically building virtual communities of learning and fostering telementoring by lectures and helping with care of patients across the globe who have urea cycle disorders who may not have access to one of the centers of excellence. We've also sustained the consortium with the NUCDF as clinical care partners, clinical trial partners, and as research partners. We plan to continue our consortium moving forward. We do have a sustainability plan. Of course, it will look different from the current structure, but it's really been a tremendous honor to be part of the RDCRN. And I say this for myself and also on behalf of the other PIs of the UCDC who feel similarly, because being part of this collaborative and inspiring community has really shaped many of our careers and solidified our enhancement and commitment to partnership with patient advocacy and caring for patients with rare disease. We're all thankful for the partnerships, the progress, and the friendships that were forged along the way, and really the opportunity to be part of something meaningful. And I just want to just make an acknowledgement to Cindy Lamons, who we all treasured as part of the UCDC. She was one of the original, or she was the original executive director of the NUCDF, who unfortunately passed away before her time, but she was a driving force and really pushed in getting urea cycle disorders on the map. And then lastly, I'd like to thank all of the PIs. We don't have an updated photo, so I apologize for that, but it's been a tremendous opportunity to work with such brilliant and motivated individuals, including the coordinators, the neuropsychologists, and everyone else who made the consortium what it was. And so thanks to all of you as well, and to NIH. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Has anybody joined from the Inherited Neuropathies Consortium? They would be the last consortium to speak. If not, then we will close the session. And I also just want to say a great thank you. And it's been an honor for myself to be the chairperson of the CPACs this year. And just thank you for everything you all do.